Welcome back, dear listeners, to another exciting episode of the OLYFO podcast, the Olive Oil Insider series. I'm Ahmed.
And I'm Yahya. We're here to explore the fascinating world of olive oil. Our mission is to support industry professionals and foodies alike access verified and knowledgeable information about olive oil as an industry and product.
Before we dive into our topic for today, let's quickly recap the objectives of our Olive Oil Insider series. In our previous episode, we discussed the different myths about olive oil and its health benefits. The episode is available both on YouTube and Spotify at the links in the description.
You're listening to Olive Oil Insider Podcast.
And in today's episode, we'll be exploring the art of tasting olive oil like a pro. We'll learn why olive oil sommeliers play a crucial role in the industry and how to identify the different taste attributes of extra virgin olive oil.
With over 1,600 olive varieties, each producing a unique tasting oil, it's essential to understand the nuances and quality of olive oil. So let's get started.
Let's start by answering the first question. Why are olive oil sommeliers important, and what does it mean for an olive oil to be of high quality?
Olive oil sommeliers are trained professionals who specialize in evaluating the sensory characteristics of olive oil. They have the expertise to detect the subtle nuances in taste, aroma, and quality. When it comes to olive oil, quality refers to the absence of defects and the presence of desirable attributes such as pungency, bitterness, and fruitiness.
That's simple and easy definition. So how can our listener identify the different taste attributes of extra virgin olive oil?
Great question, Yahya. When tasting olive oil, we focus on three primary attributes: pungency, bitterness, and fruitiness. Pungency refers to the peppery sensation in the throat. Bitterness indicates the presence of antioxidants, and fruitiness captures the fresh and fruity aromas.
Okay, we got this now. Are there any indicators that can help us identify the sources of olive oil based on taste?
Well, yes. While it's challenging to pinpoint exact sources based solely on taste, there are general indicators. For example, a green almond flavor often points to Italy. A tomato flavor suggests Spain, and green almond or artichoke flavors can be associated with Tunisia. However, it's not that simple, because varieties in the Mediterranean can sometimes have similar qualities. Tunisia alone has more than 36 varieties of olive trees. People tend to only know Chetwi and Chimleni.
That's correct, Ahmed. Now let's delve in some of the defects that can be detected when tasting olive oil. These defects often indicate issues in the production process that can affect the quality of the oil. One common defect is rancidity, which occurs when the oil has undergone oxidation and has a stale, unpleasant taste. Another defect is fustiness, which is caused by the fermentation of the olive fruit before processing, resulting in a musty and vinegary flavor. Additionally, there can be defects such as a muddy sediment indicating improper filtration or metallic rancid flavors, suggesting poor storage conditions. By being able to identify these defects, producers can take the necessary steps to improve their production processes and ensure that the olive oil reaches consumers in its best form.
Thanks for sharing this, Yahya. As co-founder of OLYFO and director of quality and production, you constantly taste olive oil during the harvest season and after. Can you share with our listeners how do we actually taste olive oil? Can you guide them through the process?
Certainly. To taste olive oil properly, follow these steps. First, cover the glass and warm it in your hands to relieve the aromas. Then, smell and let your nose capture the scents. Next, take a small sip. Move the olive oil around your mouth, allowing the oil to coat your tongue to detect bitterness. Finally, aspire some air through your teeth and see if you have a peppery kick in the throat. This whole process will allow you to observe the pungency, bitterness, and fruitiness in your palate.
That sounds like a fascinating experience. I know it is. Someone might ask the following question: is there any particular equipment or tools that are essential for olive oil tasting?
Yes, Ahmed. Using appropriate tools, such as special olive oil glasses, can enhance the tasting experience. These glasses are designed to capture and concentrate the aromas, allowing for a more accurate evaluation of the oil's quality. But people can just go ahead and enjoy it with a regular glass.
I believe now our listeners understood the importance of using the right tools. So, beside the sensory pleasure, why do we even bother tasting olive oil? What purpose does it serve in both the production and the procurement process?
Tasting olive oil serves multiple purposes. For a producer like us, it helps monitor the quality and the product, make adjustments to production methods, and ensure consistency. For buyers and consumers, it acts as a pre-selection process, allowing them to make informed decisions based on their preferences and desired flavor profiles. Tasting olive oil saves time and cost by narrowing down options before sending samples for laboratory tests.
It's clear now that tasting olive oil is a valuable skill for both producers and consumers. Now let's talk about some common mistakes that people should avoid when tasting olive oil. One common mistake is using bread while tasting. We see this a lot in food shops and can even help us understand if we are dealing with a connoisseur or not, because using bread interferes with the flavors of the olive oil. It is great for breakfast, but not helpful at all when to support a procurement or quality decision. Another mistake is not smelling the oil before tasting. Aroma plays a significant role in the overall experience. Lastly, it's crucial to be able to identify bad quality or fake olive oil. Good quality olive oil should smell fresh, like a vibrant bouquet of greens and aromas, and leave a clean taste in your mouth.
Those are excellent points, Ahmed. It's important for our listeners to be aware of these common pitfalls. Now let's move on to another exciting aspect of olive oil, pairing it with food. Olive oil is a versatile ingredient that can be paired with a wide variety of foods. The key is to match the oil's flavor profile with the dish's ingredients. For example, a light tasting extra virgin olive oil with delicate flavors would be a good choice for salad or fish dishes. On the other hand, a more intense extra virgin olive oil with bold flavors would be a better match for grilled meats or vegetables.
That's right, you got me hungry here. And for all our listeners out there, we have some meal ideas and recipes that can be paired with olive oil on our website in the Get Inspired section. Be sure to check it out. Now, before we wrap up, I have one last question. How did you come to be so passionate about olive oil, Yahya? I want people to know your story.
Since I was a kid, I spent a lot of time with my grandma. She was a great person who loved the land, the food, and the animals. She passed this passion to me. Things started by me transforming our small garden into a small farm. I planted olive trees, almonds, vegetables, raised chicken, ducks, you can name it. I knew since day one that farming is the purpose of my life. Things then became serious and I made it in my career. I went to engineering school and built my first olive trees farm. Then came OLYFO and we decided to share this passion with the world.
Thank you, Yahya, for sharing your journey and passion for olive oil. It's been a pleasure discussing the art of tasting olive oil like a pro with you today. I know people will certainly enjoy your story if they come say hi to us in the coming edition of Summer Fancy Food Show in New York City this June, or maybe Anuga in Köln, Germany next October of 2023.
Thank you, Ahmed, and to all our listeners. Remember that tasting olive oil is a skill that can be learned and refined with practice. By following the tips we discussed today, you can develop your palate and fully appreciate the nuances of extra virgin olive oil. There are multiple interesting resources on our website as well, olyfo.com.
That's right, Yahya. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Olive Oil Insider podcast. Thank you for listening and stay tuned for our next episode where we'll be discussing sustainability in the olive oil industry.
Don't forget to follow and subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform. And cheers, everyone!
You're listening to Olive Oil Insider Podcast.